Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Manila, California, Oregon, New Mexico, San Diego, Sacramento, Claremont. How wonderful for us to be together this morning. This is our 7 a.m. Pacific time daily practice. It's a devotional practice, really, using 365 Science of Mind, a year of daily wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And I'm using the Kindle version. This morning's reading is for July 11th. There's a lot in it that needs context and explanation. It's about health and how you and I, are radiant with the health of the living spirit of divinity. And this is the area in our teaching where we have come such a long way since the beginning of our movement and our understanding of spirituality and medical science, that there is some explanation that needs to be given. And if you are already familiar with the literature of Science of Mind, that's the teaching from our movement Centers for Spiritual Living, then it is possible you know about the book Living the Science of Mind, also by Dr. Ernest Holmes. Round about the 400s, the 200s to the 500s, Dr. Holmes writes about the relationship between our spiritual work and all the medical sciences that amplify, that we work with. It's very important to keep that in mind so that when we are making spiritual statements, they're not to be taken in any way to negate or deny or separate us from science, medicine, surgery, psychology, psychiatry. All of those are considered to be answered prayer. I'll read to you a little from Living the Science of Mind. This one comes from page 527. We do not deny the body. So we don't say the body isn't spiritual, but we do affirm spirit. We believe the body should be properly cared for, and that is the office of the physician. Couldn't be more clear there. He goes on to say a little bit later, I think in the 400s, these are passages that I've collected because they're so important to me. The physician and the surgeon can patch up this physical body of ours, and the psychologist and psychiatrist can help us straighten out our emotional tensions, for all of which we ought to be grateful. So I want to begin with that. A reminder that the spiritual statements that I'm saying in my prayers are in addition to whatever it is I do to take care of my body. Right now I've got allergies. You may be able to hear that. And so I know that there is some help for me that is a wonderful addition to my wellness that I'm going to take right after this prayer practice. And I give thanks for the availability of antihistamines I consider that to be a miracle. And I give thanks for the person who discovered, invented, developed it, and everything that led up to it. I am a radiant expression of the living Spirit. And now Dr. Holmes says, whatever we, not put in the first person, whatever I identify myself with, I tend to become. See, tend is very important. Whatever I think about gradually becomes a subconscious pattern, and one of the many subconscious patterns, I might add. They become the patterns that we are tending to express in our experience. So we should try to identify, I should try to identify my physical body with spiritual truth. That's what I should do. Now, it's not only what I think about, what I identify with, it's also how. Gentle, effortless, identifying with spiritual truth compared to intense, grasping thought. So this is a distinction between the spiritual practice of Centers for Spiritual Living and the conventional thought about prayer. Our spiritual contemplation is to be filled with warmth, feeling, gentleness, effortlessness, identification, realization, embodiment. And there are those times when I cannot get there. And that's where community comes in. That's where the World Ministry of Prayer comes in. That's when we do for each other what we cannot do for ourselves. So breathing in and letting the eyes close, if that's comfortable to do so. Today, I identify my entire physical form with the activity of the living Spirit, with the radiant life of the living Spirit. Today, I identify my physical body with my spiritual body, and I think of them as one and the same thing. In this meditation, I am seeing my organs and all the activity of my biology as part of the rhythm of life, as part of the radiant presence of the living Spirit. I think of myself as being part of one life expression that is circulating and flowing through me right now. I see my physical form, my limbs, my hands, my hair, every part of me is moving along with the rhythm, the one rhythm of life, the rhythm, the pulse, the beat that is at the center of everything. And I say to my deepest self, I am part of this wholeness. In me, there is the circulation, the assimilation, the elimination that is of spirit. I let myself feel into that. Perfection, meaning nothing missing or absent, is part of my physical being. Wholeness, completion. And so today I embrace every part of my body, even those parts where I'm not yet feeling the perfection, as if I am warming up, lighting a flame of recognition, treating my body as if it were a temple, a church, a synagogue, a holy place that honors the living Spirit. Today I treat my body as if the power that makes it be and do is the living Spirit. And I have this sense that the living Spirit in me is rebuilding me, and it, the living Spirit, is the pattern of perfection. And so I yield to it so that its wholeness is my health, its rhythm is my harmony. And I affirm quietly and warmly, peacefully, I am radiant with the wholeness of the living Spirit. I am radiant with the wholeness of the living Spirit. I am radiant with the wholeness of the living Spirit. I'm letting the breath move me. I begin to become aware of my environment as I feel the invitation of the day. Now that I have gotten myself on the right track, move into the day and to attend to that which calls me to attend. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for sharing this broadcast. If you are on Facebook, I appreciate that very much. And if you have friends or family that are not Facebook users, the broadcast is also available on Centers for Spiritual Living's YouTube channel. So there is another way that people can enjoy and share our practice. Goodbye.